Hey yo, what's poppin', yo? This your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording right now, it is 4:31 p.m. and the upload time is 11:30. I'm not doing. I said fuck it. I got time to do another video and shit. You know what I mean? I've been wanting to do this video almost all day today because um a lot of people do not like the truth about what goes on in AEW, right? And I made the video today, earlier about Mariah May. Mariah May is on her way to WWE. She's leaving AEW and she's going to WWE, right? Basically, I have mentioned how you have people who is not going to stay in AEW. And AEW is going to have a very tough time keeping people, retaining people. Like I said this last year, right? When I made my channel and such. I said, WWE is going to use AEW free agents or AEW talents as either used video games or cars. Right? They're going to they'll wind up getting that car or item at some point just for a lesser price, right? And it's the same thing what we're seeing with Mariah May, and it's also the same. It's going to be the same thing with a lot of free agents who they get, a lot, right? A lot of people from AEW, and I'm going to throw this man's name in there because it's like wow, Josh Alexander was a guy who, and it's still disappointing. But then again, WWE might have had a blessing in disguise. I think they might have had a big blessing in disguise. Because remember, this guy was a former TNA champion, right? He was pushed. This motherfucker was pushed. Josh Alexander was pushed, right? He was pushed to a point where he was one of the focal points in that company, right? And you would think that he would have done the smart move by, going to WWE and such. This is a man who basically stated that he didn't want to be tossed around, in WWE and shit. Like he didn't want to be, tossed away in WWE. He didn't want to do that, right? So he chose a whole different route, an unexpected route, and now it's costing him. It's costing him. Josh Alexander now is just not only another guy, he's a jobber. He is a fucking jobber. He's a jobber. Now, I don't know what the fuck was in his thought process. You know what I mean? But if his thought process was, oh, well, they're not going to do that to me, then you're probably as dumb as a lot of these other people that's out there, right? And he lost to Brody King, right, on Wednesday, right? And it's laughable. It's laughable. He's a nobody. Josh Alexander is a nobody in AEW. He's a fucking nobody. He's a nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, part of me don't feel bad for him because he took the money, right? But he had to know that something like this was going to happen. And here's the bad part. They can't change it now. I don't know how long he's under contract with AEW for. I don't. He had to hire Barry Bloom, as his agent. But man, to go from TNA World Champion and a top person in that company to just a cock within months. Wow. Do I think he might have bias remorse? Yes. The downfall of Josh Alexander is beyond needs to be studied. It needs to be studied. Now again, I don't know what the fuck his thought process was. Oh, I just want to get the money. I don't want to main event thing and such. Then you shouldn't have been in this business in the first place if that's the case. You should have gotten this business in the first place. You know, but man, the downfall is just, it's horrible. It is fucking horrendous. You know, and it's not like an Adam Cole type of downfall, because his downfall is bad too, but it's different circumstances, right? Adam Cole, to me, dodged the bullet. We're going to the main roster, right? Because again, remember, Vince wanted him to shave his head and to manage Keith Lee. You know what I mean? That wasn't going to work. That was not going to work. But this is different, because at least with WWE, they would have kept this momentum going. They would have kept Josh Alexander's momentum going to the point where, you know, he would have succeeded. And now you can always put the comparison to him and Ethan Page. You can always do that now. Because Ethan Page now, remember there was a comment when Ethan Page was in AEW, and someone had mentioned, you know, it was a promo, and someone had mentioned the main reason why we went for you, why AEW signed you, was because they really wanted your boy Josh Alexander, right? Man, did that comment ace like milk? Because look what's going on now. Look what the fuck is going on. Look what's going on now. You know what I mean? Even if Josh Alexander gets put as a face, it does not matter. It strictly does not matter. Is Josh Alexander dumb? I mean, is he fucking dumb? This is what people been was saying, yo. They've been was saying this. And now look what happened. You know, look what's going on now with Josh Alexander. Just look at him. Look at him. Look at him. You know, he's a fucking loser. You know what I mean? He's a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what his new name should be? You know, the walking weaPIN. That's what his new name should be. The walking weaPIN. Because, you know, or the walking pin. Fuck weapon. The walking pin. Because now he's just walking and taking pins. You know, he's walking and taking pins and such. And you know what's funny? Speaking of him, right? Can you believe this motherfucker had the audacity to comment under a post about WWE scouting Mike Santana, saying that, they got high praise for Mike Santana. And then under the comment section, he goes shocking, right? Like, my man, you know, your pins are shocking. The walking pin. The walking weaPIN. That's what I'm going to call it, the walking weaPIN. Because basically, you know, it's sad. It's sad. It is sad. It is sad. Does he still have time to rectify this? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He's only 39 years old. Age doesn't mean shit in WWE. It doesn't mean anything in WWE. But I will say this, though. In terms of his star power and such, you know, I think AEW destroyed it. They destroyed it. They destroyed any value that this man had. Any value. Because you didn't want to go to NXT. Right? You did not want to go to NXT because you thought NXT was beneath you. But yet, you know, NXT was where Ricky Starks went. You know, Ethan Page went and such. They gave a brand. And look how well they're doing compared to what's going on with you. So you mean to tell me that you would take losses? That you would take losses more than wins? You got to be out of your fucking mind. Enjoy the bread, though. Enjoy the bread. Because, man, the downfall is just monumental. I don't know how long his contract is up for. I don't know if he signed a 2 or 3 year deal. But, you know, if this keeps going, which I know is going to, I think he's also out the door. He's like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And then more than likely, you'll probably see him in WWE. But I'm about to be out, guys. You know what I'm saying? I definitely will be coming back with, you know, I will be making vids tomorrow. For sure. I hope it doesn't rain by the time, this video gets uploaded. You know what I mean? So I'm going to definitely holler at y'all tomorrow for sure. And I'm going to check y'all. Peace.